Okay, so you know what I mean? It's been a bit lax on the Shutter stuff. Just time, man. It's been crazy. But I decided to check out Sorry About the Demon, right? The new film from Emily Hagins, who wrote and directed the piece. Okay, the film is produced by um, Cameron Burns, Emily Gotto, Ben Hanks, Aaron B. Kuntz, and Pasha Patricki. It is executive produced by Samuel Zimmerman, Michael Pist, Andrew Thomas Hunt, James Fear, and Craig Engler. It's co-produced by Nicole Boudion and Alex Utin. I feel that's how you probably say it. Line produced by Ashley Schned. Okay. Jeremy William Smith handled the music. Eric Wu, cinematography. Michaela Bowden edited the piece. Casting was handled by Melissa A. Smith. Joshua Turpin was on production design. Art direction was Somerville Black. Set decoration Desiree Nishakov and Imogen Wilson. While Maddie Styles took care of costume design, we got hair and makeup from Jessica Warden, Nicole Rodriguez, Renee Emma, and Daniela Donnery. Our cast. Well, Will is played by Jon Michael Simpson. His girlfriend, Amy, is played by Paige Evans. His best friend, Patrick, is played by Jeff McQuitty. And Amy, with an I and a double E, is played by Olivia Duchamp. We've got the sellers. So Ken is played by Dave Penuk. His wife Tammy is played by Sarah Cleveland. Their daughter Grace is played by Presley Allard, and their son Jake is played by Jude Zappola. There's Demon Anonymous, who is voiced by Tony Vesper. Mona, who is played by Christina McLaughlin. The Ghost Boy is played by Scout Flint. We got Charlie, played by Jolly Amuko. Samantha, played by Somerville Black. Yeah, the bartender is Bryson Salmon. Nick is played by Ty Ippoliti. Got a couple of police officers played by Krista Rowe and Ivan Hotomo. And we've got the Presto Pace customer service that was voiced by Ben Hanks. Right, the Presto Pace HR was voiced by Luxie Banner. And the Presto Pace manager is voiced by Drew Saplin. So the gist of our tale is, what's worse than getting dumped? For Will, it's finding out that his new place is haunted. Now faced with a quarter-life crisis and a house full of spirits, Will must figure out how to make things right with his ex-girlfriend and banish the sacrifice-seeking demon residing in his house. So, yeah, there we go. Now, it starts off, right? This new couple buy this house. I actually thought the house was ugly as fuck. You know what I mean? What the exterior of the house, you know what I mean? The interior you can do with what you like, right? You can make that look great. The exterior, I'm like, yo, why you buy this, man? But just bought a new house. And yeah, the daughter is in a room one night and she thinks she sees something. And what do? You get under the covers because getting under the covers will keep you safe. Well, this film shows that it doesn't. It doesn't. Now, the family are able to get their daughter back by making a deal. Right? The deal is find someone else who can be sacrificed. So they rent the house out. Right? Rent the house out. Will he gets dumped by Amy, right? For some valid reasons. For some valid reasons, right? So he, trying to prove her wrong, decides to rent the property. Right now, that property must be a ridiculous price because he thinks he's renting a room, but he gets the whole place. So I have no clue what the cost is. But boy, that must have been one cheap number. You feel me? So he's in the property, but he's still doing the things that she was frustrated at. Like, which is one of the things that I did find kind of weird, right? Because throughout the film, it's like Will going, look, I'm changing for Amy because I want to try and win Amy back and all of this. But, you know, she was just like, she's moving on career wise, right? And he isn't, right? He's doing this call center job, right? And he's got all of these hobbies, cake making, candle making, woodworking, but he never commits to any of them, right? And we don't really see a change to that, right? Which is one, like, because the film is fine, you know, the acting is fine, you know, all of that, it's okay. It doesn't, you know, it works, right? But I think the big thing that I didn't really, well, there's a couple of things I didn't really get, right? He's told these are the things that I'm finding frustrating. Why aren't you trying to commit to anything? And he never does. Never does. Like, there's not even a moment where he's like, okay, what one of these things would I want to turn into a full-time job? Like, how do I, you know, how can I quit this call center gig? Like, nothing. There is nothing, which is weird. Like, he doesn't use the toothpaste, so he doesn't like the toothpaste. So it's just like you're answering calls lying, right? And you kind of feel at the beginning that he's frustrated with it, but he just doesn't know what to do. But we never see an attempt to try and work that out, right? Then, once he realizes he's moved into a haunted house, we don't have him call the landlord and be like, yo, I can't be here, right? Or just leave, right? Just leave. He's working, so there is money coming in, which would be the big thing, right? Now, the story would work in the way it is if he loses a call center job, right? So he's not actually got the money to leave, right? Then you'd be like, okay, that makes sense. Otherwise, you're just like, why is he still there? And knowing, right, that the ghost isn't interested in him, but it wants someone, you then bring people back to the house. Like that, these things don't necessarily make any sense. So I think that's one of the big things about these were the three big things about the film, which are just like, huh? Right? Why would you do those things? You know what I mean? Like, then the ending, I mean, the ending clearly speaks to a sequel, right? Clearly speaks to a sequel, but you are a bit like, how? Right? Because we see the thing, right? We see the thing. But yeah, you're like, well, then that doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's a bit peculiar. Another thing that was a bit peculiar, the hole gets closed, right? Hole gets closed. But then there's another hole. Like the first hole took ages to dig. The other hole was like a second. So that was a bit confusing. But yeah, I don't know, people. Right there, I think you know, if you're a fan of like the horror type of the comedy horror type of things, right? Because it's not straight horror. It's this is meant to be a comedy of such. I didn't really I think I didn't really find it funny, but I am very, you know what I mean? I feel I can be very picky on humor at times. So, just because I didn't find it funny doesn't necessarily mean others won't find it funny. You feel me? But yeah, boy, I'm trying to think of, something similar which you may dig, right? So I guess, with the scare package anthology, right? Some of those, like I liked it as a whole, but not everyone is as strong as, you know what I mean? So there's certain ones on that, or like the what was it? It's the VHS? VHS? Um, I don't know if it was VHS. What was it called? I think no, it was VHS, wasn't it? It was yeah, whatever you want to call it. VHS 99. That was the one we looked at last year. Right? If that I feel yeah, there's not everything on that was, I didn't gel with everything on that. So I think there's that, right? If you dig those, then yeah, I think you might get along with yeah, with Sorry About the Demon, you know? But you know, yeah, like you think of those teen horrors, not another scary movie and that kind of thing. It's probably comedy akin to that, right? So if that's your bag, then yeah, Sorry About the Demon could very well be for you. If you've got a Shudder subscription, people, give it a go. You know what I mean? But it's out now. So yeah, enjoy if it sounds like your thing.